What's going on, guys? JJ here. Now, the E3 Bethesda conference just ended about 20 minutes ago. Actually, a little longer, but I was watching the interviews and stuff. But anyways, you don't want to hear about that. You just want to hear what I have to say. I took a bunch of notes from the conference that Todd Howard said and Pete Hines, and I have a bunch of information on Fallout 4. In fact, the gameplay that you're seeing is Fallout 4 gameplay, actually. I took it directly from the E3 press event. I found it on YouTube, downloaded that so I can upload it so you guys can see it while I talk about it. Anyways, let's start right into the game. Now, the game actually features pre-war error at the beginning of the game. This is something we've never seen in a Fallout game, and to be honest, I cannot believe that this was happening. I mean, I said in my speculation video when it was announced a few days ago, when we saw the trailer, that I thought we would get to play some pre-war error, and there were some rumors going on, and it was confirmed that the game does start in the pre-war, before everyone goes into the vaults. It's actually pretty interesting how in the game sequence you see one of the Vault Tech personnel come to your house to register you and your family. And I thought that was really interesting and cool, the way that they incorporate that into the game. Now, anyways, let's start off with the main thing that a lot of people have been asking. Who is the main character? Is it going to be, you're playing like Witcher 3, Mass Effect sort of, where you're playing a scripted main character? Yes and no. Your character is completely customizable to whoever you want to be. The customizable screen, when I first saw it, I was like, oh, this is just going to be like adding little features. But then after I saw what they were doing, they made the character look completely different. They turned this white guy into like this orange black guy. He didn't even look like he had orange skin and black skin at the same time. But you can completely change your character. Sorry if this seems rushed. I'm really excited right now. So the dad and the mom are the main characters of the game. Whichever one you press circle with, obviously, if you're using a PlayStation controller, and you leave with once you're in the beginning of the game looking at the mirror in the bathroom, that is the character you play with. So you can customize both characters. You don't play as both, but you customize both if you want. And then whichever one you finish customizing with and then leave the mirror with, that's your character for the game. After that, the game will generate a baby based off the designs of the two parents at the beginning of the game, which that just blew my mind entirely. Now, like I said, the son is created to look like the parents based off of just complete generating of both their facial looks into one. So there's complete customization. Don't have to worry about that anymore, guys. Stop bitching about it, alright? Next thing, the characters are voiced. Now, this was a big thing that I said I was going to talk about in a special video, but we have the information now, so we might as well talk about it now. It's not... Yes, this is voice character, and I don't know how I feel about that directly at the moment because I am a little too hyped for the game to go into great detail of it. But I can tell you that they did put a lot of time and effort into the voice characters. In fact, Todd Howard in the press conference afterwards, the little interview, said that there are over 13 lines of dialogues, and it took him 2 years of voice work to do all this voice work, which I thought was crazy. Another thing that I really caught my eye, because I've always wanted to see this incorporated in certain games, not really RPGs, because I didn't really think they'd worry about this kind of stuff. More like 2K, where how in NBA 2K15 you're playing and it doesn't really say your name. It says just like a made up name, like the Monster or the Mr. Clutch, or in Fallout 3 it's the Vault Dweller, which is a great name, but you never get that sense of hearing your actual name. Now, they have over 1,000 voice names recorded for your character. Basically, I'm not saying you have to pick one of these names. You can be whoever you want. I imagine if they don't have that name recorded, they just call you the lone survivor or whatever. And they incorporated this by showing us that the robot from the beginning of the game, I forget what they're called at the moment, the ones that live with you in the house, he actually said Mr. Howard, because they named the character for the demo Mr. Howard in honor of Todd Howard. So that basically let us know, and then Todd Howard said there were over 1,000 voice name recordings, which is just crazy. Next thing, you do start after the pre-war in the vault, and you leave Vault 111 as the only one alive from Vault 111. And that's the one big thing we've all been wondering about, is at the end of the original trailer that we saw 2 weeks ago, basically, everyone was wondering, how did they get in? They wouldn't explain or show us how he got in the vault, or anyone else got in the vault, but he does get in, speculating that his family probably gets in too, but once again, they couldn't tell us how exactly because they don't want to spoil anything. 200 years later, meaning, yes, this is in the same era of time as Fallout 3, a little later probably. You emerge from Vault 111 as the only survivor of Vault 111, which is just completely crazy. More information now. The game is completely open world, not to worry. It is not a linear game like people were thinking, sort of like Mass Effect or Dragon Age, which would have been okay in my opinion. But like I said, a Fallout and an Elder Scroll game has to be open world. It's going to be on the next gen creation engine, and it has some new effects. I didn't write them down. Some new lighting effects, sharpening, and stuff like that. I don't remember every little detail, so that's why I just said new effects. The robot from the beginning, in the trailer, actually, I'm guessing plays sort of a part in the story. Maybe not much, but just like a little side thing. Because he is there in your neighborhood when you get out. In fact, like I said, he's the robot that said, "Hello, Mr. Howard. It's been 200 years. I cannot believe this." It was very funny, actually, the way they incorporated it into the video. The next thing is, you can play first and third person. Of course, everyone knew this. This is just something I needed to say because some people actually were speculating maybe it's only first person or third person. Everyone always does that for games like this. So it was confirmed. You can do both. Switch in and out anytime you want. You can shoot anyone, kill anyone like normal if you want. I think Todd Howard even said if you wanted to, you could kill the robot while he's talking to you about how it's been so long. One thing I gotta say, personal preference, the new UI I think looks amazing. I was never a fan of Fallout 3's UI or Fallout New Vegas. In fact, I use something called Immersive HUD, which is a mod by Gopher, which actually gets rid of the HUD because I'm not a big fan of it. The new UI, even though it's still a HUD, I really do like the way it looks, and I like the health bars of the enemies and the places they're at. Instead of the bottom of the screen, it's like a sort of little Witcher 3, sort of how the health bar is above them. I thought that works great, and I can't wait to see more of that. Another great thing is the dog, which we're not sure which one it is. I don't think it's dog meat, but you can give the dogs commands on where to go. Basically, I'm guessing if you have something equipped, something wherever you point, you can say go there or pick up that wrench. You can tell your dog to go pick up stuff, items, to go to places and to come back, of course. Another thing is the garage. The garage was shown in the gameplay trailer as well, so I'm guessing it was basically confirmed once again, just not really, sort of through the trailer, that is your home base of operations where you make stuff and this and that. But I have more stuff on home bases and operational places later on in this video. The next thing is VATS. This was actually a big deal, and I might make a separate video on this alone. VATS is shown slightly slow real time. In previous Fallouts, Fallout New Vegas and Fallout 3, VATS completely shut off time, and you just have whatever chance you want to shoot. Now, VATS is actually in a very slow time, which I thought was much more, I much preferred that, because realistically, people aren't going to just stop walking to you, even if you're using a special ability. So you slow down time still, and you can still shoot, but they are moving towards you, so I'm guessing you can still take damage while in VATS. The next thing is the Pip-Boy, which was actually something I was not expecting. A big surprise, is way more immersive. And when I say stuff like that, I mean, you can even play games on the Pip-Boy, which I thought was cool. They even showed some sort of Donkey Kong, but not actual Donkey Kong. It was the same, it was similar to Donkey Kong, but with different creatures and different characters and stuff. Another thing I liked is, normally when you go into data, options and all that stuff, I forget at the moment, it just goes there. Now you actually see your fingers on top of the Pip-Boy, switching the buttons, clicking the buttons to go over to the next layer. I thought that was amazing as well. Another thing that we got now is a layered armor system. I'm not going to get too into that, maybe another time. Like I said, little mini video games for the Pip-Boy, as well as, tapes that you can listen to throughout the world that you find. One big thing is the collector's edition, which I have to talk about in a separate video as well. You can actually get a real Pip-Boy with the collector's edition, which you can put your smartphone on, whether iPhone or Android, I'm guessing, depending on size things. I don't know how they're going to do it, but they are going to do something like that. And it connects via internet to your computer, and you can actually use the Pip-Boy on your phone. It's an app. You don't have to have the collector's edition, but you can put it on your arm, on there, and you can use your iPhone Pip-Boy actually in-game at the same time. I might be wrong. I think that's what he said, but please don't credit me on that one thing. That's the one thing that I'm iffy about. I didn't hear it correctly, maybe. But from what my take is, you can use it in-game, which is just crazy. Another thing is, there aren't as many useless items in the game anymore. It used to be in Fallout 3 and New Vegas. Yeah, you can get stuff and craft stuff with it, but really you don't need it. You find all this crap, you just sell it. Now, scrap items actually have a purpose in Fallout 4. And this is the big thing. You can create buildings and crafting and different things, and even create your own settlement, which is what you need these items for. Certain items have different traces of elements or whatever that you can break down and use those to build buildings and build this and that. This is really cool. Like I said, you can build a freaking settlement. That's just crazy. You can even create a doghouse for the dog in the game that you own. You can make a power grid. You have to add some sort of defense system, and other terminals and such. Your settlements will be attacked by raiders from time to time, which I thought was just amazing as well. Even more stuff to do in the game, which is just crazy because it's Fallout. There's so much stuff to do already. Now even more. That alone adds thousands of hours of gameplay in my opinion. Not thousands, hundreds. There's different places around the world that you can build your settlements and this and that. Like I said, everything is optional. You don't actually have to build this if you don't want to. It's just something that you can add. That can add tons of gameplay hours. You can craft different things with items around the world. Like I said, one thing, and this is the biggest thing I'm gonna make a separate video about tomorrow as well. There are 50 base weapons in the game. Oh, 50 weapons, that's a good amount. Well, get this, 700 mods for those weapons, and you can take any base weapon and completely change it into a new weapon, thus creating even probably hundreds of new weapons. That I thought was crazy. At one point, he took a laser pistol and made like some laser rifle sniper majigger shooter thingy. I don't even know what it was, but it was freaking cool. The next thing, like I said, that just shows us there's complete weapon customization, which is what people have been speculating for weeks now. Armor customization as well, modifications for your power armor, different things you can do with that. I only have a little bit more information, but let's get into it. Anything can happen at any time. Literally, like he showed in the trailer, you were talking to your dog, and then he's like, let's go fuck shit up. And then bam, you start doing all this cool stuff. I saw him wearing a suit and like a teddy bear thing on his head. I thought that was hilarious. The combat looks amazing, at least in first person and the third person combat. The third person combat is different than previous Fallout combat. It's what I mean by different is it reminds me sort of a little bit of, not the exact same combat style of Uncharted, just the way it looks with when you're aiming in and all that stuff. A little bit like that. I might be mistaken thinking about another game that I just can't think of at the moment. But that's the first thing that popped in my head when I saw third person. The game looks great. There seemed to be an arena of some type during the trailer. It just sped by, but I noticed that right away and decided to write that down. There might be some type of an arena mode in the game, which I thought was great. The combat is gory like Fallout 3 and Vegas. There were things he was shooting people and they were blowing up, and it was just, oh my god, I'm sorry, I'm having a nerdgasm right now. I even saw one of the things that was the most funny freaking way of death in the trailer was he shot some sort of bazooka, and what came out wasn't a nuke, it was a teddy bear, and it shot someone in the head and they completely blew up. I thought that was crazy and hilarious. The game looks crazy, it looks amazing. It looks just how I wanted it to look, even better actually. And the best thing, which I'm going to make more videos about, November 10th, 2015, this year, guys. The game is coming out this year. It was officially confirmed. I predicted October 23rd, like a lot of other people were predicting. November 10th, a little while longer, but it's still coming out this year. I'm personally going to be getting the collector's edition. It's not on sale directly right now. God Howard did a great job, aka Todd Howard, his human form name. And the best part about this video was they did a little reference to Megatown, which you can blow up as a choice in the game. The trailer ended with you nuking a city and it blowing up. So obviously there's going to be another form of choice where you can blow up a city. Maybe we can blow up even more cities. That would be crazy. Like I said, guys, I can't disclose too much information right now. I'll have more videos for you guys later on today, maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow. I'm not sure yet. A lot of videos, though. Don't get worried. We have more stuff coming. Thank you guys all. Peace. Stay tuned for my next video, which will probably be tomorrow morning. Well, today, or later today, because it's 12:30, on Fallout Shelter. Thank you guys. Peace.